I went to Temple like I want to say a weekend ago, and it's like I don't know if you've seen that case. It's like a whole bunch of pictures in there.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of In My Humble Opinion, brought to you by Unfiltered Media. And I just want to thank you guys for coming in for another episode. Last episode we reached 50 listeners on a Michael Badger one, so if you haven't heard it, keep running it up. And man, this is a very exciting day for me, man. I keep saying I was going to bring heavy hitters on the show, but like Hassan Whiteside said, we got shooters too. And the man right here, one of the best shooters I know, Bryson Etienne. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And to start off this show, word through the grapevine is you're a big anime fan, just like me as well. So I'm going to start you off with a little question.
Bet.
Start, bench, cut. Dragon Ball, Naruto, or One Piece?
All right. Off rip, starting DBZ. All right. I'm a bench Naruto because he always gonna come through with some great character development. And One Piece, I'm gonna have to cut One Piece. I started watching it, but I haven't really got into it like that. But
It's long as heck.
yeah, really long.
Super long. You still keep up with Dragon Ball Super, the manga?
Yeah, not the manga. I really just watch the TV show. Some of my friends kind of read the manga, so I kind of get some info from them. But
It's actually pretty nuts.
yeah,
Very
I'm
nuts.
already knowing.
Yeah, like I think Goku's getting a new form, and Vegeta got a new form called Ultra Ego. It's pretty.
Nah, yeah, they always be telling me stuff about it, so I'm always excited when new stuff come out like that.
For sure. So, talk briefly about your high school days leading you up to Temple Junior College, because you're from Houston, Texas, right? So how was that experience for you coming up through high school?
Well, it was all good. Was under at Bush. Well, to start off my high school career, I was originally at Travis, where the Harris twins had went.
I remember.
So that was my freshman year, and then a little incident had happened regarding just by safety going to school. And so I ended up transferring to Bush, and that's where I already knew some people from my elementary school, from my middle school that went to Bush already. And then on top of that, a couple of my AAU teammates, PJ Bird, he had went to Bush. So it was already they already knew me. And so it wasn't no like, oh, I got to adjust and fit in. Like I fit in already. So that was just exciting. And I got a chance to play with a good head coach, good high school head coach, Coach Courtney. He got on you because he knew you could do better than what you were probably doing.
Right.
And it didn't take him many times to get me going. I remember he had to push me a little bit some games. I want to say that sophomore year, but after that, he ain't had to push no more.
Would you say like being from Houston, because being from here, like there's a lot of hotbed of hoopers going to the league. Like, you have Jonathan Simmons, Shannon Shorter, D'Angelo Harrison, all them dudes. Would you say coming up here kind of grizzled your game a little bit, kind of got you tougher in some regard?
Yeah, it's a lot of talent up in Houston. Just with the AAU scene, it's a bunch of teams that we can really create our own little league and just go from there. But being in Houston, it's hot weather, so it's gonna be heat and just competitiveness all through here. But I get that from my parents. They really helped me kind of get to where I'm at today, and just keep my head on straight when things like that happen.
So talk about your transition to Temple College, because like I said, you're a fellow Temple Juco alumni. I mean, you've been through it all. You know Coach Kirby. You know those usual events that happen at 12 o'clock where they give out free food and give a good word.
Yeah.
Remember that? So how would you describe your Juco experience? Because it's a dog-eat-dog world.
No. Yeah, it's dog-eat-dog for real. It's an experience, especially because Temple wasn't that big of a city or town. The closest town was probably Killeen, and even that city was kind of not as busy as Houston. So it was just a lot of downtime, but it gave me a lot of time to just be in the gym. When I wasn't doing nothing, I was just go to the gym. Like that was my purpose going there for, and for school as well. But just being out there, helped me kind of mold myself and just being and getting a relationship with God more personally. I remember I went through some through over there, and it just helped me just build my character and continue to help me grow, and just being locking in on really knowing how to train by myself.
Right. Yeah, being in Juco, I could thoroughly remember when I first came to Temple Juco because I played in high school and everything. I wanted to keep furthering my career there. And, you know, for the people that have been in Temple, they already know you have to be in the basketball class first.
Yeah.
And everything. And there was some certain days where Coach Kirby allowed some of the guys to come practice against the team. It was only like one day a week or so. And I was one of the guys that went. And when I tell you, when I got my butt whooped, like it was a wake-up call for me. Like, that's where my dream, quote-unquote, died with basketball. Like, I'm still talking about it now, but playing-wise,
yeah, nah, it's dog eat dog for real. Like, you saw it firsthand, so it's a different experience if anybody goes, but it really helps you get to that next level.
facts for sure. Shout out to people still there, too. I still talk to some of the homies there, and they're doing pretty good.
Facts.
Good. So, growing up, who were your favorite players, guys that you like to study?
Kobe, he was a big one. Just his mentality and how he just never lacked confidence in himself. That's pretty much the main guy. I looked up to KD. I still do some of his moves to this day. And I say recently Kyrie, because it's just he do so many things with the ball, and it's like he not saying he's not athletic, but he do so many unathletic things, and he still gets a bucket. So, you know, that's something to think about when you get kind of older in the game.
Yeah, I love Kyrie too. Like those are the type of guys that we call like just a straight hooper. Like he could pull to a park outside or a rec center. He'll give you buckets anyway because he just loves it.
Yeah. That's what I'm the same way. Just we can hoop somewhere, get in the gym outside. I'm hooping.
No doubt. And what are some of your favorite shooters that you like watching now in order to try to emulate the game?
I mean, obvious one is Steph, but I don't really watch his shooting because his shooting is just uncomparable to some people. But I did watch Ray Allen a lot, how he came off screens and got his feet set and just shot the same shot every time. And I have to say, I say Ray Allen. He's one of the better ones.
Got you. Shout out, you just sold it for it. That man was a dog.
Man, for real. So,
growing up too, I know every great player, they also have a great mentor to learn from. Like, every warrior needs a master splinter. So, considering you, who would you say was your most influential mentor growing up?
I had to say my dad. He grew up playing basketball as well with his brothers. And just kind of, he asked me early on, like, if you really want to play this game, we're gonna have to put some work in. Like, it's gonna get hard. And I don't remember me saying yes, but he said I said yes, and ever since then, I might have been 3 or 4 years old, been working at it. So that's him and both my uncles. They try to just keep our head straight and always encouraging, and just telling us keep working and just never not to give up.
So like every family reunion, you guys pull up your uncle like, hey, nephew, you still got a lot of work to do in order to get with me. Like they kind of joke with you a little bit. Like
yeah, we still got to get in the gym. We still get in the gym today, but I'm getting closer and closer to them because they know they have a lot of knowledge, and because they see me playing, so anytime they can give me any nuggets to perfect it or to just work at it or do something that they see that might work in the game. I'm always listening to them, so they're a big help.
So what does preparation look like for you? Like, what was your pregame ritual? Because you have some guys that listen to music, chill off to the side. Some people wear double socks and watch a favorite TV show and then go up and drop 30. But concerning you, what would you say is a common pregame ritual for you?
Definitely listen to music. Kind of just. It's really not even just for basketball, just me just being in my room, kind of just relaxing. Music just put me in that kind of zone to where I can just either relax or just lock in. Some music, I say Young Nudie for sure, puts me in that mode, cause he get me right. He get me right and get me on our court ready to do some damage. So
I didn't start listening to Young Nudie until I came to TSU.
Man.
My homeboys put him on.
he like that. Yeah, for sure.
So what would you say is your big welcome to college moment? Because let's say a situation like as a freshman, you face up against like a top guy, he kind of showed out a little bit. What was that moment for you where you're like, oh snap, I'm really in college?
I'm gonna go Juco first.
Okay.
I think we were playing Collin College, and I remember Coach Huggins from West Virginia was in the front row while we were warming up. So I'm like, whoa, like I think he was watching Taz Sherman. He was at Virginia, West Virginia. So, and I had to guard him. So off rip, I had to make a good impression on him, and so, all else history. But the second time, welcome to college, my sophomore year here, that first PV game. Yeah.
I remember that thoroughly.
That did it, because I think Tyreek had hurt his ankle a game before that, and so he wasn't going to be able to play. So I had to step up, and I stepped up for sure, and we got the dub. So, and everybody the whole crowd was here rocking.
That was the game right before the pandemic, right? Like the last home game, like before, right? Or
I don't want to say the last home game, but it was before the pandemic for sure.
I feel so. Yeah, that game was nuts.
Yeah, I would say it was like the one here this year, but I think the one this year was bigger than that one. But that was my welcome to college experience.
I got you. So coming to TSU, you're coming from Juco. You kind of had to get out the mud a little bit. What was your expectations coming here? Like, were you trying to set like a great impression, or you were just trying to play your game?
Just kind of play my game, and just leave an impact on the team. I know a lot of times when guys come to teams, they want to start right away or be that guy right away. But sometimes you just have to kind of just feel for it and just let it kind of come to you. And just really be one of the main pieces on the team, because the good teams, they play 8, maybe 7, maybe 10 guys if it's a good rotation team. But you want to be in that top 8, top 7, so whereas you're one of the main fabrics of the team and really can make an impact and help your team win. So that was just my main focus.
This year you played in your first NCAA tournament, and we kind of talked about this a little bit off camera, but you guys went to Alabama for the SWAC tournament. Mm-hmm. They had to go back to Houston to hear about Selection Sunday, fly all the way to Dayton, Ohio, and go all the way back to Fort Worth just to play a game. How was that experience for you? Like, walk us through, the process of it all.
I mean, technically we were kind of used to it almost, because we had a busy preseason schedule, and so we were gone for like 11 days. So that being in our memory bank just kind of helped us get through it, because we already knew how to pack, how we was gonna feel, how we had to practice. So, and we went through that when we was trying to get to Florida A&M. We had to sleep in the airport. So we always try to stay prepared. If somebody was down, it was the next man up. So it was really just, we were used to it because we'd done it before. Not saying it wasn't hard, because it was, but doing that, moving and just traveling, it's a good thing and a bad thing, but mostly good.
Yeah, funny question, was there a time where you were traveling during basketball and you were like, oh snap, I forgot this important item at home? Like
my shoes. Yeah, had to wear. I didn't bring no pair of shoes. I just had my running shoes and I think my slides, and that's it. And so I had to wear, luckily one of my teammates had an extra pair of shoes. They were like half a size smaller, but it was fine. I was able to still play. But that was I've only done that once, so I'm never gonna do that again. Yeah.
No, because I already know it's a cold day in hell if you have to wear running shoes or a basketball game.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So, how would you describe the intensity for March Madness? Because it's one of the highest grossing sports events in the world, and people don't really know how to describe it unless they played in it. So, what would you describe your first-hand experience playing in a tournament like that?
It was just exciting just being able to get there and see everything. They said Dayton was a pretty big basketball just city. Even though their team wasn't there, they were gonna come watch basketball regardless of who was there. And so I think we had our first open practice. It was people just in there just watching, because I never experienced open practice, so it's kind of just a new experience. Still doing what we do, not letting it really affect us, but it was cool. It was real fun. Big arena, and just a lot of you didn't really need any other energy from anybody else, because all that energy was just pimped up inside you, so you didn't need really anything else. And just being able to have my dad there with me was a big thing.
Yeah, I know the recent one you guys went to, they allowed a student bus for TSU students to go there, and you actually had like a little bit of a home crowd, especially since it was in Fort Worth. But when you look in the crowd and see your family in there supporting you, like, how does that make you feel emotionally?
It's just amazing. Some people don't have that blessing that I have, so I don't take it for granted at all. We all pretty much support one another. Anybody whether it's a volleyball game, football game, another basketball game, we're there watching, supporting, screaming, yelling, and just loving each other, because a lot of times guys don't have that support, and so sometimes you don't know who's supporting you, or you may feel like everybody against you. So just having them in my corner really helped me, and always have a remembrance of who I'm doing it for.
So dating back to last year, you sustained a serious leg injury, and with it being the pandemic, season shutting down, you have to stay inside and everything. How would you describe that experience for you? Because I could tell that when an athlete goes through a serious injury, like, it puts them like in a really dark spot. So how would you describe that experience for you?
Well, the pandemic had started before I hurt my foot, and so I think I want to say we scrimmaged on the 19th of November, and we was going to play on the 25th, and that 19th I hurt my foot. So literally a couple days before we had to play, I hurt it. So it was tough, especially being that close to the season and like not being able to go with your guys. It was tough because I had never had that type of injury before. So I was just making sure when I did have surgery, everything was cool. I could kind of get back with the right amount of time, and just asking the doctor a lot of questions on what I could do and how early I can get back. I wasn't really rushing it because I knew I wasn't gonna play during the season, so I kind of just stayed patient and just kept working. Shout out to Sarah, our trainer. When I was finally able to kind of start walking and moving around, we were in there every day, because that's just how much I wanted to just be out there. It was some motivation inside me that just had me just working. I wanted to get back, and it can get hard. It can get tough to where you can break down and you kind of in a dark place. But I think not really get your mind off it, but kind of have that in the back of your head, like I got to do this for this person, or this my family, or something like that. So
let's say the NBA scout was in front of you instead of me, and they're trying to evaluate you to get you picked up for the team. And as they look through film, what would be the most glaring trait that would stick out to them?
Probably, I'm gonna give you two things. Probably me being able to be tough, whether mentally and physically, because confidence does kind of go down when maybe shots not falling or maybe the game not going your way. And just staying tough mentally, just keep pushing through. Especially with this Texas Southern team, we just, even when we was down, we kept pushing, and sooner or later that score gonna be in our favor. So just the toughness and just my heart, just playing hard. So I remember one of our teammates from AAU, he wasn't on my team at the time, but he would always love to play me because he was like, man, he just play hard. Like, he's just a hard playing guy. So and he was like, I want him on my team, you know. So and I didn't know that till we got into high school. So that's just how I was. So just being tough and just playing hard, having heart.
Let's say you were at a little closed-off gym or a park, and a guy comes up to you and say, you get to pick up 4 of your homeboys to play 5-on-5 with, and there's $30K on the side. Like, it's big earnings you could have if you win. Who would be the 4 guys that you call up?
I'm gonna call up my boy PJ Bird. I'm gonna call up my guy Kyle. I need some height. He's about 6'6", 6'7". That's where it get a little tricky.
You might take some people off.
Yeah, but they know it's all love. I'm gonna have to call up Savion Flagg. He at Sam Houston. Then I'm gonna have to call up. I'm gonna call up my cousin, Jalen Davis. He's not a basketball guy, but he can get the job done.
That's fair. So that $30K is all yours if you call those guys up.
Oh yeah, for sure. We going to work, for sure.
No doubt. So being here at Texas Southern, what would you say is the harshest reality you learned about college? Like, what was one thing that you kind of expected but didn't go your way? Like, what was some of the harshest realities you learned?
I wouldn't say, because Texas Southern is such a family, like everybody helping everybody. So I wouldn't say anything was kind of harsh. Maybe the traveling and still being in school and having to do the work. That's probably the harshest thing, because you're just moving around a lot and you just don't have a lot of time to put together. And then when you do have time, you got all these things to do. So you really got to kind of just lock in. That's probably the hardest thing, because everybody helping everybody around here. So it's a good thing.
So going into the summer, what would you say is the number one thing that you want to elevate your game with? Like, what's a certain aspect of your game that you want to work on?
Elevating my IQ, and just reading things earlier, seeing things earlier. Whether that's, having a team in foul trouble, or seeing what certain guys are doing to get them shots. Because I know a lot of times if somebody's not rolling, we need to get somebody going, just somebody just to help everybody else. And just being more of a leader. I know a lot of times I'm kind of quiet and I like to show through my actions, but sometimes not everybody's kind of watching your actions, so you kind of have to speak up and say what's on your mind, and not be so judgmental when you're saying something, and just being more of like a your peer, or somebody just trying to help just win this game, because at the end of the day that's the goal.
And also, and this is a question I always like to ask my guests, because it's something that I went through personally myself. If you had an opportunity to talk to your 13-year-old self and give them advice, what would you tell them? Because I feel like a lot of times, as not just athletes, but as men, we feel like we're stuck sometimes. We feel like, oh, I got to do this because so-and-so got all this. Like, I'm not where I should be. But in reality, we're right where God is supposed to be. So what advice would you give to your 13-year-old self?
I'd tell my 13-year-old self I'd be 7th, 8th grade. Wow. I don't know what to say, because all the things that I went through kind of helped me today. So I'd tell them keep keep going and don't let anything discourage you, because a lot of things can get you off track or get you off your path. So as long as you know what you want and know what you need to do to get to where you want to be, keep doing it, and it'll pay off in the end.
With this probably being your last year at TSU, what would you say is, like, what was some of the littlest memories that will stick with you forever? Because I remember looking at a press conference of one college team that got knocked out the tournament, and a reporter asked her the same question, and then he just instantly broke down. Like he said, going out to eat, done. And I feel him, though. I feel him. There's those little things that always come through. But what would you say is one of your biggest memories that you'll keep from Texas Southern?
Just being around the guys, and just having that, we had a lot of guys from Houston on the team, and so you kind of felt like we had to put the city on our back, just like U of H. We was doing the same thing, just putting on for the city, especially the guys from the city. So that was just special for us, and just having that camaraderie with everybody, and the PV games. The PV games, those PV games are lit no matter what's going on.
No doubt, man. Shout out to Pissy. Hey.
For sure.
Man, Bryson, it's been a pleasure having you on, man. I appreciate the time.
I appreciate you.
Good luck to your future endeavors and everything, bro.
Thank you.
All right, so this is In My Humble Opinion. I will catch you guys next time.